What is up, guys? It's been a while since my last video where I went over support and resistance with examples in the EUR USD. Today I'm going to go over three assets: the S&P 500, because we've had a lot of action in that one, especially for day trading. If you're swing trading or more of an investor, this could have been a very hectic time right now just because of all the trade talks and all of that going on. But we will still go over that and what I think is heading for the future. We also have oil and gold. We're going to go over some commodities and what I'm seeing there. So looking at the S&P 500, October and November we had a pretty big downtrend. We started to reverse lower, and then we found an area of support around December and January and have just taken off riding higher. So we can go over that and how we found that area of support, and then what I think is going to happen then from that area. So actually going further out from the 4-year weekly, I think it was about this area. There was a low to high here, and we touched a 50%, and we went higher, not to the target, but we did make a new high. And going back to the daily chart, we can kind of see these moves that took us higher into where we are now. When we fell from the highs of September, October, we actually had a high to low here, and you'll see almost a triple top in this area. And I like to make my support green, resistance red, as you guys know from the previous video. And also when we got up here, this is kind of resistance too, because we did make a new high, but we ended up falling back down. So in a way it is resistance because we didn't go too much higher. We didn't have a full close above that level. Now moving from this area, we went lower. We touched that 50% at 23.75 quarter, and the last few months have really taken off higher. What we had was low to high, and then we just kind of came into some extensions, came into this area, went to its target. We could take the same exact one higher, came into area support, went to its target, and then you'll notice that we don't really get a pullback with this one. What you have to end up doing is actually make a new extension. We go to that target, come up here, and we come down, almost breaking this level, but we go to the next target. You can extend this drawing again, hit support, go to the next target, and what just happened again, we are on that 50% retracement and have so far found support, but there could be a news event tomorrow that makes us go lower, or some more bears come in the market taking us lower. But I do like this area right here for a couple of reasons, actually. And let's get rid of this drawing down here so there's less stuff on the chart. But like I said, we had this area of resistance, right? And we came up once, twice, and didn't break above it. We just kind of stayed below and moved lower. And then we finally broke above, and more importantly, got a few closes above that level. And as you know from our last video, I like to make this green now because we went from resistance to support. These levels change as the market changes as well, so you have to adapt. So now we've broken above and closed above. This should be support, and we should bounce higher. And that's what happened. We touched this area, and then we moved higher. See, without the drawing here, you'll see that we came above, we closed above, and then bounced around here, and then we took off even higher into our prior highs. We did break them, but we did not make this support yet because we did not break above and close above on numerous days. So we came right back down, and that 50% with this extension that we had drawn is actually where this support would be, which is even more useful to know with this level. So this could provide a great area for the S&P 500 to bounce from. That was at 28.16s, and we're actually up in the 28.30s, 28.40s. So that's a pretty good move for the day. So that's what I'm seeing there, and we'll see how this goes in the future. I think I had this up on the Twitter yesterday as well. I think this is what I posted. Not quite with all these support resistance levels, but very similar. And then going into what was oil. This has been, it's been fun to trade oil, whether you're a day trader, swing trader, whatever, because it has had pretty good trends to both sides. We had a nice uptrend here. You can see the retracements with low to highs, and then some extensions came in later. Really clean movements to the upside here. And then we switched the trend and started going lower. Fell pretty sharp compared to how we went higher. It took us, about a year of uptrend, and then to go down only a few months. But then we did end up going higher from these lows, and there were some extensions in play. That's kind of what we were trading off of, it seems like, with this area. But what I've noticed recently in oil is a lot more shorts. And we had a high to low here, hit its 50 and go to its target. Usually you will trade this next 50 and we'll go to that target. So what happened was we had this one here, right to the 50, came down to the target, and then if you draw this down again, we pierced that red line and kind of just stayed and consolidated right here. All these candles right here are just consolidating between each other. And actually, if you extend this drawing, you'll see a much better 50% touch here. 63.32 is the 50. 63.33 is what it hit before falling quite a lot. So it's really cool to see these levels play like that, and you can see the reaction off of them. Now, as far as the upside goes, we're still trying to find our way, but there was a low to high. We did have some extensions here. There's your first one. Here's your second one. You don't get that pullback there, so you'll probably make a new one. You'll have these go to your target, and then eventually you'll find yourself where we are right now, just consolidating. So this 50% is where we're kind of consolidating, and it's also in between the other 50%. So this area in general is just, like a bounce house. We're just going back and forth, up and down. So until we break out of this range, we'll probably just stay in here. And then we'll see which way we go to, and then we can trade according to how that plays out. So that's what I'm seeing with oil. Upside targets would be 69.16. Your downside targets would be 58.49. So we'll see what happens there. And then last but certainly not least is gold. It's a very popular commodity to trade. And you can see just kind of back and forth with gold here. Had a decent downtrend for quite a while, and then we started to reverse that in the fall and are still trying to do what you see. So there's some low to highs here, some more low to highs, some extensions came into play, come up in here, and you'll notice that although this may have looked like a good trade, we pierced a 61.8. We ended up creating a lower high right here, lower high, and then we ended up making a lower low because we are breaking below our prior lows, and our highs are below our prior highs. This was our high right here, and this previous high was lower than that, and then this low is here, but now our next low is lower than this low. So the downtrend seems to be in play now as opposed to the uptrend, and so you'll see the high to low did pierce at 61.8 a little bit, but that's okay, and we ended up dropping pretty harshly to the downside, not quite getting to this target. So we could see a retest at the 50. We could see this same drawing being extended to the new low, hitting the 50 and dropping. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, I think gold is about to switch its trend back downward. But this is also a commodity that does move off of news events. So we could see something happen where gold, either takes off higher or rips lower due to something with the news. So that is what I got for tonight, but hopefully this helps you trading and helps you kind of see through the lens that I have. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to see anything else, you can go to my Twitter at Dan the Trading Man. And yeah, so good luck trading, and let me know if you have any questions.